Yeah, what's good, y'all? I'm gonna give it a second. Let everybody start coming in. We back here for the Sorry is True podcast, episode 12. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the pace up. I'm trying to keep the pace up. We got like 10 topics to go over today. Let me get my chat up. Let me tweet out the fact that we rocking. Everybody follow me on Instagram and Twitter, y'all. At ITSARP on both of them. ITSARP. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Tweet me y'all feedback. Tweet me topics that y'all want me to talk about. Tweet me debates that y'all have. And of course, drop comments here. I know I'm gonna see some of y'all in the chat as well. Some people I'm getting used to seeing in the chat every time we live. For anything business wise, you can always DM me on IG. You know what I'm saying? Business wise, I try to get to serious inquiries and a good amount of my DMs. I can't say I get to all my DMs. That would be a lie. I do not get to all my. All right. But all right, let me tweet this out. And then we jumping into our topics. Episode 12. I'm actually moving them faster than I thought. I think I like this format. I think I like this format better. It's easier for me to stay productive. Oh, damn, we got so many topics to get to today. All right, let me check the chat. I'm fully focused now. What's good, y'all? How y'all doing? Wayne Brown, what's good, homie? Ivan Ooze, is that? Salute back to you, Ricardo Navarro. What is that? Big Snap on 1419. What's up with Big K Battle? You know KB on a majority of the RBE cards. He might be on Divide and Conquer February 4th, or he might be waiting to the next one. We're gonna see. Michelle Thompson, what's good, love? You're starting to be somebody that I'm gonna start to put in that category as sorry is true family. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, Michelle. And it's good to have some ladies around because we do need some females' perspective on certain things in the chat. You tried it 215. I recognize you too, sweetie. I need more ladies around. These battle rap channels or battle rap majority of followings is mostly guys, which is it's cool. You know, fellas, we rock out battle rap, and some of these topics will be a lot of males, a lot of men in the analytics, but we need a female's point of view on some of this stuff. So thank you, ladies. Irv 1911. 1911, what is that? The I'm talking about the handgun, very popular handgun, 1911s. WRGB, who really got balls? Shout out to my man 40 Cal, absolutely. ARP, what's good from Detroit? What up, big two, or big toe 14? Appreciate everybody that's coming in. Wayne Brown, I already have a live on a channel discussing that. So go back. It was like a day or two ago. I put it up. Check that out, homie. We definitely get into that. All right, as people continue to come in, before jumping directly into my topics, because we have a lot of topics to get into, like I said, general talk. Hope everybody's doing good. You know what I'm saying? As everybody's coming in, hope everybody's doing good. Happy, what's today? Tuesday? Yeah, happy Tuesday. Man, I can't keep up on the damn days. I got some new pickups next to me. I mean, rocking my sneakerheads for a second. So I definitely had me a little successful run this past weekend. I've been on the 350s kind of heavy over like the last, I don't know, 6-7 months, maybe 6 months. For a second, I was telling myself I want to get every 350, every color. There's too many of them, though. Well, I should say there's too many of them that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? And there's different versions of the 350s. I started to learn that too. You know what I mean? Like some of these that's in front of me right now is like version 2. But these ones I didn't have. These are pretty common. I didn't have these. I got the ones with the red stripe, and I got the gray ones with the orange stripe. But as far as like, the all black with a stripe like this, where it says, the 350 on the side, I didn't have these. Those are very, very common. I needed those. I think they call those the dazzling blue or something like that I seen on the box. And speaking of the differences, you notice this one had a loop on the back, if you notice that. These right here, does it say it on the tag? I don't want to mess the name up. I got it on my gram, but they're like baby blue, and I feel like this lighting is so bright that it's hard to really see the colorway of these. Yeah, it's not easy to see the colorway of these on a bright ass camera. I gotta mess with my lighting a little bit, but yeah, these are real. They're all light blue. They kind of got like a nice little design to them. Yeah, going anywhere that colorway, or you wearing all white or something like that. It might be like a more summer sneaker right there, summer shorts and all that. Nice, good weather type vibe. These right here, more 350s. I remember the colorway that they call these. Damn, this lighting is killing these shits. Called butter, but even though you can't really make them out on a live here, they kind of are neon green. They almost look like they could be brownish from far away, but the laces are neon green and the sole is kind of neon green a little bit, and definitely the latch. So neon green. And last but not least, of course, some Air Max. I forget which ones these are. Is these the 97s? I told you I'm not a real sneakerhead like that because I can't even remember. I don't even know what some of these shits are. But this is my favorite sneaker. Not my favorite sneaker. My favorite Air Max style. These right here I picked up. My man Ty gave me a gift certificate for Christmas. Salute, Ty. These are one of the things I grabbed with that gift certificate. So I appreciate you. Navy blue, silver, lime green. So yeah, those 4 pickups over the weekend. For my sneakerheads, that's not a bad day. You know what I'm saying? That's not a bad day for my sneakerheads. But all right, let's jump into a quick update before I get to my topics. Shout out to everybody that's up to speed. We got the Hollow versus Ill Will announcement out there. That is going to be such an epic battle, man. I see everybody saying exactly how I felt when I locked it in. These two guys very, very evenly matched. They both do everything. 2 Swiss Army knives, basically. Those 2 guys. They both freestyle. They both got charisma. They both can be humorous. They both got punchlines. They both witty. They both got performance. I will argue at any day of the week that Ill Will is the best battler in the world, and I can also argue any day of the week that Hollow Don is a Mount Rushmore guy. So what more do you want? What more do you want? That's going down February 4th on the Divide and Conquer card. I'm probably going to do a live specifically about that card, especially when all the matchups are announced. I'll tell you what Divide and Conquer really represents as it pertains to this card and some of the matchups. I'll get more detailed about each of the matchups. It is, I think, 7 3-rounders and 3 1SKs, or 6 3-rounders on the stream. And then we also got an on-site battle. That's a 3-rounder and then 3 1SKs. So no matter what, that Saturday, you're going to get at least 6 3-rounders and 3 1SKs. So that's 9 battles you're going to see on the stream. And there's a very, very interesting on-site battle that we're going to see on the VOD that's going to also be shot that weekend. And it's going to have a real, real complex backstory. And I'm going to talk about it later on. I'm going to break it down. When I say grudge match, that doesn't fit. It's a real situation, and these guys is about to hash it out and rap. You know what I'm saying? So it's Big K versus A Ward, for example. That's a grudge match. This battle that's about to happen is above that. The on-site battle. And for those that don't remember what I mean when I say on-site battle, our on-site battles is like, for example, the classic Calico versus Ill Will. We did Mr. Mills versus B Magic in an on-site format. We did Dre Dennis versus Mr. Mills on an on-site format. That's where they like off the stage. They could be in an alleyway. They could be in the parking lot like we did Ill Will and Calico. We're going to do an on-site battle like that. Another dope look for an on-site battle that could be slept on is Nice versus Floss the Boss. Just go look at that footage alone. They put on, but the footage alone, as far as like where it is like a gate behind them and shit, it's crazy. So we're looking to do our on-site battle that's coming up for the Divide and Conquer card event going down February 4th, similar. And I'll have more details for that. But right now, go to rarebreedent.com. There are options to get your tickets to be in the building. 3 options. You got your Cash App option. We started doing that over a year ago for people that's heavy on the Cash App. You got your direct PayPal. You go straight to your PayPal and purchase your general admission ticket, or you can go to the Eventbrite. The Eventbrite gives you the option to use PayPal, credit card, and there's also a second ticket option on the Eventbrite, which is our on-cam ticket. We've done that before. That guarantees you a spot up front and personal. You could be right next to me, or you could be like 2 people over or whatever, right in front of the battles on camera for every single battle that we record and that we debuting live that night for the event on February 4th. So if you like to be up front, right next to the action, right there as all these classes go down, Hollow versus Will and all that, just like me, there's an on-cam ticket for you. Everything else is general admission. All right, so that's going down in Atlanta. Live pay-per-view is also available. Go to rapgrid.com right now, or just go to rarebreedent.com to get your live pay-per-view. Cop that. That always will include your VOD in case you join on late and you miss something or you want to rewind. The VOD is always included in your live pay-per-view. So February 4th, the next announcement, dope. The announcement after that, dope. The announcement after that, dope. Like, go get your tickets, y'all. But I'm gonna be back here to talk more about the card as it unfolds. So we're gonna have some fun with that. All right, let me get off of battle rap. Let me get off of the new pickups, and let's get into episode 12's core. I think I put this in the title. This is the first topic. Tory's confession. Did some of us make a mistake? Did I make a mistake? Was I wrong? Was a lot of us wrong? Are some of us right? And maybe that phone call that came out means something else. Let's say what we're talking about here. For those that's not in the loop, a phone recording from the jail cell. You know how you get locked up and you get your phone call. You get to call home. You get to call somebody. You get to call somebody to help you, a friend, family, whatever the case may be. Tory Lanez called, what's the name that was in the car with them that night, right? This was from the night of the incident. This isn't a recent phone call from when he just got locked up again after the conviction of being found guilty and all that type of shit. This was from the night of the incident, all right? Malago or whatever her name is. During this phone call, he's expressing to her like, look, man, I'm sorry. I apologize. There was a lot of drinking. Soon as I walked through the door, they started handing me drinks. I'm sorry. I would never do that. Blah, 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 blah. If you are a super, super Tory supporter and you are just so much invested in saying that, nah, he didn't do it, you could look at that phone call, listen to that shit and say like, well, how do we know he's talking about the gunshot? And if you do that, to be honest, you're being a little bit in denial. And there's times where we just hold on to something and we're in denial. No matter what facts or what evidence is put in front of us, we keep saying, nah, not my baby. That's like a parent, right? Like, nah, not my baby. He didn't do it. Not guilty no matter what. That's unconditional. Unconditional love at times, for example. I don't got no fucking unconditional anything towards these damn celebrities, you know what I'm saying, other than my entertainment and my music. But nah, I did a rant on my channel going live pre-verdict, pre-guilty verdict. And I was snapping because I'm a man and I know what happens in this world with these women. And it's funny because we're going to get into Gervonta Davis in a second, right? We know what happens with some of these women crying wolf and how easy it is for them to how easy they have it to get our men put in jail. And all the lies that was coming up and all the contradictions, it just seemed very, very like, nah. I couldn't rock with Meg during this whole trial. I don't know if that was her fault. I don't know if that was her attorney's fault. I don't know if that was just how the case was playing out. I think a lot of people expected Tory to get off based on what they were seeing. A lot of us did. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, it's true. But when we all heard guilty verdict, you had a lot of people that screamed like, oh, nah, this is bullshit. His father damn sure did, right? But that's his father. Unconditional love, that don't count. This phone call that came out, man, this recorded. Why do people call from these jail phones saying incriminating shit. And we're also going to get into YSL later on too. These phone calls from jail are crazy. But that call, that recording of what Tory said, if you're real with yourself, you gotta say there's like an 85% chance he's talking about the shots going off. And then there's more footage that comes out from like ring footage from in somebody's house where you could hear the shots going off. There's footage that came out of Meg in the ambulance crying. It's just all this new footage and audio that's coming out. I'm not sure if it came out during trial and we wasn't privy to it. Maybe that's possible, but it's hitting the net for the most part for us, for our general consumption after the verdict. And sometimes even that could be tactical. That could be the court, that could be the police department, that could be Meg's team, that could be Rock Nation, whoever. But this footage is starting to come out, and whether it's been put out to further protect Megan, whether it was to further clear her name, like, listen, I don't give a fuck whether y'all think that he's still innocent or not. Y'all gotta see things my way too. Regardless of why this footage has come out, we can't turn a blind eye to it. And I gotta be real. As much as I snapped on Megan, I gotta be real, man. That audio made homie sound guilty. Make homie sound guilty. Make him sound like he did that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it was only right that if I went off like that, it would be weird for me to just gloss over that. I gotta come up here and keep it real with y'all. This is the Sorry It's True podcast. Homie did it. Tory, you did it. Tory, you fucking did it. It's so crazy because watching that trial, and this is how it happens. You see it happen both ways. You see it where it's just like somebody is pure guilty, so you think, and they get off. You see somebody that's really looks like they're innocent and they found guilty, right or wrong. But this looks like the system got it right. This looks like the system got it right. And of course, everything that was coming out of that courtroom, unless you were sitting in these court days, you don't know everything that came out. We saw like the primary headlines that was coming out. We saw, some decent coverage that was coming out from lawyers and other bloggers like Akademiks and what was that girl's name that was on the ground? I forgot her name. Akademiks was interviewing or whatnot. She was doing a good job reporting, how the days was going. And we was even getting women's perspective. That was a woman saying like, nah, like she's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing with immunity with Meg's friend and everything. It was just really, really looking a certain way. But that phone call alone is damning. That phone call alone. Like, that's really all I needed to hear for me to just be real with myself and just switch and be like, nah. Most of us was wrong. A lot of us was wrong. A lot of us was wrong. And you just can't deny the facts. I could sit here and lie to myself on some unconditional type of shit and be like, oh no, I think he's talking about something else. That nigga was talking about letting that gun off. Ladies, are y'all yeah, Milagro. You got it, Michelle. Tory Lanez is definitely guilty. I knew it from day one. You ain't know it from day one, Leah. You did not know that shit from day one. 87 Melanin, Tory Lanez. That call spoke volumes. That call was all I needed for me to change my mind and say, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I could try to cover it up and be like, nah, fuck that. The shit that was coming out of trial and the things that Meg was doing. Nah, a lot of us was misled. That call says enough, man. Can't ignore it. Can't ignore it. So I believe you, Leah. I believe it that, there's people that thought that he was guilty from day one. I believe it. I think another thing that really to me was pushing me with so much if factor, because it was like, remember, you got to be proven beyond reasonable doubt, was that whole thing about Meg and her friend having this fight. The neighbor that came out on a balcony explained that he saw a violent fight between the two women. You know what I'm saying? It was just a lot. It was just a lot. But things were seen a different way for the verdict and the jurors. And that phone call, I could have swore he was innocent, but he guilty. He did it. Yeah. Spoke volumes to what? What did he apologize for? So my guy Vaughn, I'll turn that into a quick mini topic before we jump off of this. Ladies, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. You know what that phone call sounded like? It sounded like he knew he fucked up, and he was trying to use his position with Shorty to get help. You know, when you try to act vulnerable and you try to act, like you're sorry, and you're sitting in jail, you need somebody to coordinate. He's saying this on a call, like, yo, call this person for me. You know what I'm saying? Help me get out of here. He's trying to make bail. You know what I'm saying? We even heard rumors that Tory and Meg slept together after the incident, and that wouldn't surprise me if or with either one of them. Because the same way that we heard about possible payoff, like, yo, take this $1 million and let's move on, let's forget this or sweep this under the rug. You know what I'm saying? Men try to use, intimacy to do that too. The perfect depiction of that was the movie Baby Boy, right? Kind of got caught cheating or whatever while she's fussing and riffing. He starts, peeling her clothes off, whatever, makes love to her. And she rolls over in the end and realizes, like, like, damn, like, almost as like I let my guard down when I shouldn't have because I'm supposed to be mad. And then when she gets out of bed, what does she do? Cleans the whole crib, cooks, things come back together. They mad at each other, but he used intimacy to bring her wall down. You know what I'm saying? And that's almost what that phone call was in line with to me. Like, yo, I'm sorry, I need you, like, blah. And then you hear the rumors of the money getting offered. So let's keep it 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Men do that. Yeah, I mean, use intimacy to bring a woman's wall down because there's always that perception that, sex for a woman is tied to emotions, right? So if we're intimate together and I'm here in jail, I'm definitely not calling you talk about, yo, I can't believe you said that, you did that. But anyway, help me get out on bail. No, you're not gonna do that shit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna use all that. But he said too much. It's a jail phone. Them calls is recorded. And now we gotta believe that he did it. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Let's move on, y'all, because we got a lot of stuff to cover. Hopefully we can keep these topics short, but while they're new and they're fresh, I want to get into them. I want to just keep running through these. Skip Bayless. How many of my sports people are in here, man? What's up with Skip Bayless? I know the whole cancel culture is out on Skip Bayless right now. For those that don't know who Skip Bayless is, he has a sports show, co-host right now with Shannon Sharp, who's an NFL Hall of Famer. Prior to that, he had a show with Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith be getting people out of here, don't he? Right? He be getting his co-host out of there. Like, I'm done working with you for this last 3 years. It's over now. Go somewhere else. Yeah, you know what I mean, but these people are experienced. They still draws like a Skip Bayless, and they, they land well. So he landed on a new show with Shannon Sharp. It's very entertaining. The only thing that I hate about Skip and Shannon Sharp's show is they find a way to argue and debate LeBron damn near every episode. And it works because LeBron is one of the most discussed sports topics of all time. You know what I'm saying? So they're fine and they have good chemistry together. So I rock with it. But Skip has definitely had his edgy moments. Many, to be fair, many sports critics and people with shows at that magnitude and that level have had edgy moments. Stephen A. Smith has been in hot water before. You know what I'm saying? I think Shannon Sharp may have been in hot water before. It happens. It happens. But this one with Skip, the cancel culture is out. And there's a lot of heavyweights, a lot of big time people, a lot of people in the sports world, a lot of NFL players. Um, they're on him right now. They're on him right now. So for those that don't know the reason why, there's a recent football game. I think it was the Bills versus the Bengals. And you got Damar Hamlin. Yeah, I don't want. I hope I'm not mispronouncing his name because I'm not the biggest. I'm a Skip fan, but I'm not the biggest football. I don't know the Bills roster. You know what I'm saying? So this player named Damar Hamlin. I seen a play, seen it in slow motion. I watched it at least 4 or 5 times. He's on defense. He goes to make a tackle, and the person that he tackled kind of like runs through his chest. You see the impact of it. Boom. And he spins, he takes him down. Looks like a regular football play. Stands right up after the tackle. And moments after he stands up, a little small, you see something a little unsturdy in him, and he just collapses. Just flat collapses on the floor. immediately people knew what was going on. You had an ambulance that made its way on the field. All the teams, the whole game stopped, of course. The teams were taking a knee. Certain teammates of his were crying. I didn't see it in the footage, but I gotta assume another reason why teammates were crying is because they had to bring a defibrillator out on to the field for him. You know, the defibrillator is the thing that they put on your chest, you know, and it shocks your chest. It's meant to like shock your heart and bring your heart back. So when you hear about a defibrillator, then you're automatically knowing that his heart might have stopped, or is stopping, or his heart rate is dropping. Like, so you're thinking cardiac arrest, you're thinking his heart is stopping, you think that he's dying right there on the field. That's the assumption when a defibrillator comes out, and when somebody gets up and just falls out like that. You know, it goes from like, did he faint to defibrillator? What the fuck is going on? So tragic, emotional, hard to see situation. Moments like these in sports is a nightmare. It's a nightmare for teammates. It's a nightmare for other teams. It's a nightmare for the fans. It's supposed to be a nightmare for all humans. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, got this young man, makes it to the NFL. He's playing out his dreams, has a casual, regular play, and his heart stops, or he has cardiac arrest. So he's in the hospital in critical condition right now. Luckily, they was able to, you know, shock him and get him in the ambulance and all that. But he's still listed as critical, last I heard. Sad situation. But let me read why Skip Bayless got his ass in hot water behind this shit. Oh man. Skip. All right. So Skip Bayless, after this moment happened, and this is in real time, while, you know, he's laid out and the ambulance is there and the medical assistants are there and the teams are all taking a knee, and there's a whole hush on the whole crowd because everybody's like, this is real, this is serious. He has a couple tweets and he gets to this last one. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game, but how? Question mark. This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Y'all know me. I'm always going to be fair. There is a side to it where it can really, really be that Skip didn't know the severity during that tweet. Skip didn't know a defibrillator was brought out. I didn't know that watching the replays and the footage. I'm hoping that wasn't shown live, because usually when you're watching stuff live and something like that happens, they go to a different camera. Even when people streak, you know, we have these fans that jump on the field and start streaking and all that type of shit. Normally, to not give them the attention or show that to the viewers, they go to a different camera. So I'm gonna assume, I could almost bet my last dollar that there was no, during the game being on, they didn't have the camera while they was trying to bring this man's heart back to beat. You know what I'm saying? So it's very possible that Skip didn't know, you know, the severity of what was happening on the field. Let's give that possibility. Okay, let's be fair. But at the same time, no matter how severe, no matter how dangerous this was, no matter how bad of a condition this player was in, you know that the teams are taking their helmets off, they're taking a knee. That's always a sign in football. That always means something. It's like they're treating it like a fallen soldier almost. You know what I'm saying? This is why everybody, the whole stadium always cheers when they see somebody go out on a stretcher. And usually that person tries to give a thumbs up to the crowd. And no matter what team you're there rooting for, it's always a everybody thing, saluting both teams, both coaches, all fans. You know what I'm saying? That's obvious. Teams taking knees, and you're a sports announcer / critic. So you know this. You know that it's an important moment. You may not know that his heart might have stopped, but you know it's an important moment. That side of it isn't really excusable, especially at his level of who he is. Everybody's following your tweets when it comes to sports. You're one of the biggest sports critics with one of the biggest shows. That was bad. That was bad. In situations like that, you sit back and I think like even the network that he works for, they want to see if there's like, any type of backlash that sponsors start to have issues. If that big of a fan outcry that can move the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Because finances always come into play. Who are we kidding? The world revolves on money. You know what I'm saying? But if especially God forbid, if he passes away, because like I said, at last I heard he was in critical condition. Yo, something like that could cost Skip his job, even if he didn't mean it like that, or even if he wasn't aware that it was this severe. It could still cost you your job because the whole world is on your neck. And these networks, they'll respond to that like, nah, this is too much. This is bad for our reputation. This is bad for our sponsorship. I don't know if he had a show today. I don't if you see him on his upcoming show or his next show, whether it was today or not, to me, if he's sitting there with a piece of paper and he's reading an apology, something that was written and formatted to try to perfectly address this, take accountability, and try to get some type of plight back from the fans, then he's probably going to be okay. Or else the network won't put him there right now to even read an apology. I don't think that they would do that and then fire him. You know what I'm saying? Normally what happens is you wouldn't see him at all. And then we would find out later whether it's like a suspension or we just letting things cool down. It can cost him his job. Kendall Outlaw, appreciate the super chat, homie. After the disrespect towards Shannon Sharpe and now this tweet, Skip should be at least suspended. And that's what I'm saying. It could come in many forms. Once again, shout out to you, Kendall Outlaw. I appreciate you. The whole thing with the disrespect towards Shannon Sharpe, I seen that too. They was arguing over Brady, and he takes a shot at him about how good Shannon Sharpe actually is. And we've seen Shannon Sharpe get like he normally plays almost like a comic relief between their dynamic as far as their chemistry. Plays a little bit of a comic relief. He's kind of second to Skip, which is why he always goes first. He's even said himself that Skip is the reason why he has that job, right? But we've seen a couple times during that show where Skip gets serious. He's gotten real serious about racial issues. Gets serious about when he felt Skip disrespected, took his glasses off. He was like, all right, Skip's like, I don't need to make it a physical thing, but go watch some like Skip's workout videos and shit. Like Skip, he stand up and grab Skip. It's over. It's over. You know what I'm saying? But I think I think I said Skip grab Skip. Shannon. But Shannon's, you could tell he's pretty well in control of himself. I mean, you have to be on that level of TV. You have to take the emotion and personal side out of things at times or as much as possible. And when you do get edgy and when you do lose that, like, you know what, fuck that, I gotta say something, it becomes good TV. Like him, go blacking out or that mini blackout on Skip for that moment that you was just talking about. It becomes real good TV. But I want to be fair, y'all. I want to be fair. Like I said, it's very, very possible that, he was just being a little selfish about his football, assuming that, all right, somebody's hurt. It's probably just a broken leg or something like that. Come on, like, man, let's not cancel the game. That's possible. But at your level, you should know better. Because even if he was down with a broken ankle, you can't be insensitive. You know what I'm saying? You can't be insensitive in the position that you're in. Shouldn't be insensitive like that, period. But especially when you have a following and people that are looking up to you and looking to you for your sports analysis. So a suspension probably would be sufficient, but I would not be surprised if the amount of pressure that comes behind this, if that young man passes away, I wouldn't be surprised if they fired him for this. He was leading the No Mercy crusade against Kyrie. That's why you got to be more careful about the judgment you measure out. Prayerfully, this will make him a more compassionate person. Think before you tweet. A lot of people's not going to think before they tweet. Mr. T Real. And shout out to App Email with that last comment. David Banks, what's up, bro? He did a show today and Shannon didn't show up. Oh, Styles Black. Oh, really? That's an update right here live in the chat. Shout out to Styles Black. He did a show today and Shannon didn't show up. All right. So job wise, to me, that feels like he's going to keep his job. He's going to be able to issue an apology. Hopefully. Right. Shannon not showing up. Oh, yeah. You force Shannon to pick a side. You force Shannon to pick a side. That happens sometimes. Like, I'll fuck with you. You're the reason why I got this job or whatever, but you just forced me to pick a side. You just did something that was just, damn. And Shannon has shown he'll stand for shit. I fuck with Shannon behind that. Skip showed that he doesn't look at athletes as people. Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. Athletes tend to look at athletes the right way, which is probably why Shannon, I think would look at that situation differently than Skip did when Skip was tweeting that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think Skip had any major athletic success, right? Like at a major high school championship, college, right? I don't think he did. So I don't know. But for Shannon not to show up, that don't shock me. Ugh. All right. Let's keep it going. This one's gonna tie into the Tory confession a little bit. I did my last live. I spoke about Gervonta Tank Davis, right? He got locked up when the day I went live for episode 11. The accusations was that he hit another woman at a house that wasn't his, punched her in the face allegedly. His mugshot was going around. Everybody's like, yo, this man's got a fight coming up in 2 weeks. Another boxer putting his hands on a woman. Sad. And I'm glad. I'm glad I said it that live. I said something to the effect of, there's always 3 sides to a story. I'm telling y'all, if y'all ever think I'm not being fair, get at me in the chat and say, ARP, that ain't fair. I'm always going to try to be fair. I've seen so many situations where there's at least 3 sides to a story, right? And yeah, so when we spoke about that in episode 11, we was basically, just saying the main point that I made was that if he did that, he's showing bad tendencies in his character because we obviously saw with our own eyes what he did to that woman at that celebrity basketball game. That's on camera. You could YouTube that. They were sitting front row in front of 1,000 people. He walks up to, whether that was his BM or some woman that he was dating or whatever, grabs her by the throat and walks her ass to the exit in front of everybody. It's just like, what's up with you, dude? Like, so that already is going to put him in a light of like, yeah, he has those tendencies. So when a new accusation comes up, it's going to be hard for people to forget that he did that. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes. And sometimes deservingly so. Other times it's like, no, you got to still give a person the benefit of the doubt. Let information come out. If it's at a legal level, due process or go through the judicial system. Even sometimes they're wrong too. But in this particular situation, we don't need to wait for a judge. We don't need to wait for a jury. I think I got this one in my phone too. So here goes his BM. It's funny too, because I've come across her page before on Instagram too. Beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. Speaking of Instagram models, shout out to Aria Artiste. Go to the channel, check out our first of 3 pieces for our sit down. She has a lovely, lovely Instagram page. And I think it's cool to speak to an Instagram model and get her take on, being on social media and being in a dating game with that type of following and people looking at you that type of way, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I want to do more of those. But anyway, so here's Gervonta Davis's BM's statement that she put on her story. And I heard sometime after this, I saw reports that she actually deactivated her IG because she was getting trolled and she was just getting cyber attacked so much. She said, I'm getting the fuck out of here. These past days have been hurtful and extremely exhausting for all parties involved. I pride myself on being extremely private. Sure about that? I've seen your page before. This situation was the last thing I wanted to be. I wanted to be made public. The state of our relationship has been in a fragile space, and Gervonta and I were both at fault for the argument. The argument. While the emotions were running high, I made an unnecessary call to the law enforcement in an intense moment while I was frantic. Gervonta did not harm me or our daughter. Now, I could do the whole, once again, ARP, be fair. Was she pressured into writing that? Did he, yo, you better, this lifestyle, your Instagram model ass got about to be over. You better clear my name. Possible. Once again, let's be realistic. It's possible. But some pictures came out too. He put up a picture with spit on his face. That's assault. That's assault. You know what I'm saying? Spit on his face and shit on his toothbrush that she supposedly did. These are pictures that he put up after he made bail. Disgusting. I don't care how long I've been with a woman. I don't care what we share. I don't care if our lives is intertwined like this. I don't care if we share a multi-billion-dollar empire on some Jay-Z and Beyonce shit. Don't you ever fucking spit on me. Man or woman. You know how they say you don't slap a man, right? In the verbal category, you know, you got certain people that they're willing to die and go lose their freedom over, like, suck my dick. You know what I'm saying? And even being called a bitch to certain people. You don't call him the B word, right? I don't put power in words like that. I go based on if it's in person and I feel any type of threat or it's at that level, I feel like I will always respond and react accordingly. Whether that's all the way up, mid-range, I could walk away, I could de-escalate, whatever the case may be, I'm going to react accordingly. But it's not going to be based on words. Not at this point in my life, especially. You know what I'm saying? Maybe when I was much, much younger, but I just don't put power in words like that. But when you talk about physical acts, you don't slap a man. You don't spit on somebody. There's just something about being spit on that is like one of the ultimate, to me. That's how that's just my personal shit. You tweet me all day long, yo, ARP, suck my dick. I'm gonna say, yo, you have a nice day, man. Like, whatever. I don't put power into words like that. You spit, you could be a fan. I could be walking in the mall. If you spit on me, I'm not gonna say on camera what I would try to do. There's something about being spit on. This man posted a picture, but it was even gross to see, but would just spit on him. You know what kind of respect you gotta have for it, or who the fuck do you think you are to be arguing, to be fussing? Because that's not a physical. Let's be smart here. Let's play lawyer for a second. None of us was there, but let's play lawyer or detective, I should say. Let's play detective for a second. There's no physical altercation that's going down, and you spit on somebody. If I grab a woman, if I'm throwing her around, if I punch her in the face, if I'm dragging her, some shit like that, she's not going to respond by, no. She's going to possibly be kicking or scratching or punching or running or some shit like that, right? I'm just imagining, because I've been in physical confrontations many, many times, not with women. Nobody thinks to spit in the midst of a physical confrontation. That sounds like an argument or some, you know what I'm saying? Just like she wrote on her shit. That's like, fuck you, nigga. Puh. What? And the toothbrush thing? This is why we can't jump out the window. Even though he did that shit in that basketball arena, we can't jump out the window, man. And that woman, she doesn't deserve the respect from anybody, especially other women. You get you, let's say hypothetically, as a good man, you get you a good, successful man that tries to take care of you. You share a child together, right? We off the spit on them thing. But by your words, you make that phone call to the authorities and you say something happened that didn't, could never fuck with you again. Dare I say, people like that barely deserve motherhood. That's what pissed me off when I did that Megan live before the verdict. You're willing to put a man in jail. Why do you think that some of these street codes be like, yo, you don't wish jail on your worst enemy? Because I don't know how many of y'all in the chat have been in jail, let alone prison. No woman should stand for that. She should be, her followers shouldn't follow. I don't give a fuck what she look like, who she got a baby by, whatever. Her followers shouldn't follow her. Nobody should ever take her serious. Nobody should fuck with her. That's scum to me. You're willing to pick up the phone and put a nigga in jail falsely and wrongly. Fuck her. Fuck her, man. Yo, Tank, I wish Tank the best for his upcoming fight. Fuck her, man. They got a kid together, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna end up dealing with her to a degree. You know what I'm saying? But it's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting, man. They don't deserve love. The system is a different world. Shaking my head, and some people don't understand that. Shout out to 87 Melanin again. How is she not locked up for false allegations? My God, Vaughn. That's the thing too. It's like you hear of situations where people get in trouble for like wrongly calling the police, or let's say you SWAT somebody, or let's say you call the fire department and there's no fire. You know, you play games with 911, pranks and shit. You should have your ass in jail behind that. The moment that she put this fucking this statement up, somebody should have knocked on her door and say, yo, come on down to the precinct. Let her go spend a night in jail now. Bail out, you know, somebody's mother. Let her learn the hard way though. Let her go spend a night in fucking jail just like him. It's disgusting. You don't ever call the police over an argument. Yeah. You tried at 215. Call the police over an argument. Nobody in this chat, no woman in this chat, no man in this chat that's had a serious relationship hasn't had an argument. It's impossible. It's impossible. There's been times where I've been seeing somebody for a long period of time. Like, let's say long, even though I said long period of time, right? I'm about to say like 4 or 5 months. And let's say no argument has happened. I'll be waiting for it. I'll be like, yo, what's it gonna feel like when it happens? What's it gonna be like when it happens? How are we both gonna respond when it happens? You know what they say about motorcycle riders? They say it's not if you go down, it's when you go down, because all motorcycle riders at some point take a fall. That happened to me too. That's what they say. They said that saying in a bike shop when I was buying my shit. I was like, damn, I got to fall, you mean? It's a must. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with like relationships. And I know that's way off. That's not, going from motorcycles to relationships, but still a correct analogy. It's like, what strong relationship that has timing hasn't had a serious argument or a serious disagreement? You know what I'm saying? And we had one. We had a blow up. Now, even if it got intense, because I don't know what y'all definition of intense is, depending on the person. Some people are intense people. Some people have aggressiveness by nature. Intense could be in somebody's face. Intense, there might be some women or maybe some men in here that might think intense could be a little shoulder check or something. What, pass them? Yo, move. She's standing in your way. Yo, move. Because I don't want to go there. Get out of my way. Some people might believe in that. Some women might believe in that. He trying to walk away. You might grab him by the shirt. Where you going? Might be intense. You know what I'm saying, like, everybody feel that there's different levels before that real physical. You know what I'm saying? Like, and whatever your cup of tea is, it could be an intense situation. It could be an intense argument. It could be an intense moment. But relationships go through that. They go through it. Even fuck love relationships. And go through it with your peoples. I don't have a close friend I haven't had an intense argument with. You know somebody long enough, it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So to see that's what you did when we had our moment, and you talking about our relationship has been fragile, so this isn't the first time. But you picking up the phone and you doing that, you shitting on my toothbrush and you spitting on my face, playing with my freedom. Nah, get her out of here. Get her out of here. Disgusting. Mm-mm. Gervonta Davis, we wish him the best. Let me go to this one real quick. Mysonne versus DJ Akademiks. Are y'all familiar with Mysonne? I feel like everybody on the internet knows who DJ Akademiks is. He's like a damn near major player on the internet in our world, in our space of the hip hop culture. All right. Mysonne, for people that don't know who Mysonne is. Mysonne, Mysonne actually battle rap before. Mysonne battled before. Did he battle Ines? I'm getting old. My memory is killing me these days. But did he battle Ines? Mysonne battle rapped at one point. New York rapper. Really hit off on the mixtape scene for the most part. Never really had major music success. Had a couple songs here and there that got traction, but nothing too big. I feel like Mysonne's reputation and he's more looked at for just being a spokesperson. And me personally, I've always respected Mysonne. I've always liked this character. He's always come across like a very solid guy. Mysonne tends to speak out on things that people are scared to speak on. You know, the name of this podcast is called Sorry It's True. So I gravitate towards that shit. An example of that was he was like the only person that spoke out on T.I. when T.I. got arrested for all them guns and them silencers and whatnot. And then he kind of got the slap on the wrist. And then he also did that, that 1-800 Crime Stoppers thing or whatever. Now, this was at damn near the peak of T.I.'s career. Now, T.I. is still a titan in the industry, still a very big name. He's a heavyweight still, industry titan. You can't take nothing away from T.I. even today in 2023. But this is not like his peak was. You know what I'm saying? At his peak, when the whole world was stopping for T.I., all attention was on him. He was going through that legal situation. And he comes out and he does that commercial, that 1-800 Crime Stopper shit. Mysonne was like the only person that spoke out. And people sometimes tuck their tails when it comes to speaking about celebrities with that much weight in the industry because they feel like they can get blackballed. They feel like it's not the popular opinion. But rare breeds will go left. Rare breeds will say, yo, sorry, it's true. He was the only person calling T out like, yo, wait, you Mr. Rubber Band Man. You a trap star in all your music. Use this street nigga. It's Bankhead this, Bankhead that. This is T.I., y'all. Like, why are we comfortable with him doing a 1-800 Crime Stoppers video and being in that court and testifying, and I don't know the terms of it. I like T.I. I fuck with T.I. I support T.I. I'm not trying to cast no judgment on T.I. myself. I'm just talking about why T.I. went at him. And it's like moments like that is just like, that's solid because somebody that wasn't fearful, that was making an attempt of being in the industry, Mysonne, wasn't fearful. So over the years, we've seen Mysonne continue to do stuff like that, call out things, right? Continue to be a spokesperson. And I think that's really what his reputation is. I don't think it's really for music. I think when people hear the name Mysonne, I don't think anybody thinks music anymore. And that's fine. But continues to go back and forth with DJ Akademiks. And this is a sorry it's true for me personally because I have so much respect for Mysonne. And like I said, I feel like he's a solid guy. It was, I'm not going to say a letdown, but it was almost just like, yo, Mice, you smarter than that. I seen that they've been going back and forth for years. Mysonne always calls out Akademiks. He looks at Akademiks for being somebody that's going to instigate, that's going to talk about street stuff, even though he doesn't come from the street. He's going to be, putting out interviews and content that's going to have a lot of eyes and ears, and it's going to make this artist get madder at this artist over here, and then they're going to end up shooting it out while he sits from the comfort of his own home blogging. That's what one of the things that Mice always goes at Akademiks about. I guess that's a fair opinion, right? If you feel offended by that, that you feel that somebody is constantly speaking on street stuff and doesn't come from the street, and you yourself are a street person, I could see that Mysonne might, in his shoes, might be uncomfortable with that. We cannot gloss over the following that DJ Akademiks has. So his voice is going to travel no matter what. Hate him or love him, his voice is going to travel. His content is going to travel. He gets responses from the biggest heavyweights in the industry for a reason. He'll go back and forth with Meg or Nicki Minaj or whatever. They'll DM him. Some of them, Lil Baby just put DJ Akademiks in his album, damn near threatening him in order. He's just DMing with Lil Baby. Lil Baby was DMing him like, yo, where you at? I'm in New York. I'm trying to pull up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's DJ Akademiks' voice. He will get under people's skin. You know what I'm saying? Whether you hate him or love him, once again. But Mice, I watched this video and I didn't understand it because Mysonne gives this analogy, basically saying the streets and our surroundings, as we're all in this industry, it's like the jungle, right? And he's saying Akademiks doesn't belong in the jungle. Akademiks is a house cat. And if a house cat is running around in the jungle, he offsets the ecosystem, right? Because you're trying to say that, it's lions and tigers and bears and animals that are fierce, street people, right? Animals that are fierce, come from a certain type of background and cloth. You come from something else, yet you're trying to mix into this jungle. You're spreading your ways, which can offset the ecosystem, have these street people going at it over your words and your content, right? So you see the two breakdowns that I give along with his analogy, and you see how it all comes together. The reason why I didn't understand it, though, Mice, is because it's actually reversed. It's actually reversed. And it's almost as if Mysonne isn't remembering the arena that he's in. Even when he cuts on that live or that camera and he starts to respond on his live or his Instagram to DJ Akademiks. This is not the jungle right here. What I'm talking on right now, it's not the jungle. It's not the street. It's actually DJ Akademiks' world. It's the internet. It's the internet. Who do you think is tuning in to DJ Akademiks? There's some street people that tune into DJ Akademiks, of course. But if 1 million people watch his video tomorrow, you think 70% of them are these street code, going in and out of jail right now, shooting up every block right now and selling drugs a mile a minute right now? People, they're just everyday regular people that's just tuning into the industry, tuning into gossip, tuning into entertainment. This is actually Akademiks' world. The internet. And I feel like the moment Mysonne forgets that is the moment he will lose the grasp on what makes him solid. Because the moment he even responds like this, you're in that game. You're in that world. Because I think even Mysonne knows that even if I threaten him, show aggression, respond to him or argue with him on this right here, right? That's not street. That's not street. The moment you get on a camera or a microphone and you express how upset you are at somebody or that you're mad at somebody, and I know he does a lot of things that's more of a political delivery, but I've seen him upset as well. That's not street, right? Social media has taken over that much. The internet has taken over. It's actually transformed the street people. You got street people that's committing crimes on live. Like, oh, you're in the internet world now. You're in the regular house cat world now. It's reversed, Mice. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't get that, and I'd hate to see somebody as credible and as solid as Mysonne, lose his posture over going back and forth with somebody who is clearly here to express his own opinion and drop his content. Will we agree with all of DJ Akademiks' content? Of course not. Will we be entertained by all of his content? Of course not. And I'm saying we. I don't even want to put me in the Mysonne bucket because I'm not a street guy. I don't claim to have a street, but I'm not a street guy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even want to say we in that sense. But the masses that tune into DJ Akademiks, you can't have that expectation of him. You shouldn't have that expectation of him. And the last thing you should ever do is think that the stuff that he's doing is within the jungle, because the industry is not the jungle. I think we all know how fake the industry is. Even my little industry of battle rap, it's one of the fakest, most smoke and mirror things. You got people that act like they got money, they broke. You got people that act like they tough and they pussy. You got people that act like they think that they talented and they like, it's all of that. It's industry is an industry. It's just about how big it is. Battle rap industry shows me the same fucking thing. 90% of the shit is not real. It's not fucking real, right? So I'm not gonna walk around thinking like, oh, I know what this person's round was about. That's not the jungle. It's the internet. It's really Akademiks world. It's really Akademiks world. Mysonne ain't no dummy though. He a OG. He no act sending out the bait. Okay, but what's the bait? Is the bait to get you to go back and forth with me, and then I have a larger platform, so I end up winning? It's like a casino. You know, you could be winning, your numbers could be hitting, but you play long enough, then the casino's gonna win because their money is long. It's the odds of it, right? It's the odds of it. So what bait? Like what war could Mysonne win if it's about going back and forth with Akademiks when this platform is clearly bigger? You know what I'm saying? And that's really one of the gripes, that you have this big platform and he thinks that he's misusing it. He's not using it the right way based on the demographic and the pool of people that he's embedded within. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much Mysonne's gripe. That's not a winning war for him. You know, I could understand that he's also trying to carry a message to some of his peers, like, yo, don't listen to Mysonne and have him trick y'all off the listen to Akademiks and have him trick y'all off the streets. I understand Mice's message, but when I see him start responding and arguing back and forth with Akademiks and assuming that it's the jungle, it's not. It's the internet. Oh, my bad. We building here. Now I got you. I see y'all. Yeah, that's a little weird, man. But shout out to Mysonne, man. Shout out to DJ Akademiks, man. I tune into both of them for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? I don't know either one of them personally, but shout out to both of them. Do we have to talk about lyrics in court since we're talking about the industry? Are we off this YSL shit for a second? Nope. It's the biggest news, huh? Still? Did y'all see the co-founder that took a plea deal? Did y'all see that shit? And they asked him, are you aware of drug locations? Yes. And he's the one. Is he the same one, the co-founder that made the phone call when Thug was like, yo, y'all ain't shoot them niggas or stab the niggas yet or whatever? And he co-signed that phone call in the plea agreement as well in open court. Who is still saying that that's not telling? Like Thug is fucked. Young Thug is fucked. I'm sorry. All these pleas and people acknowledging YSL's, it's actually, again, that was the gun and shit. That's old. But the co-founder coming out and saying that, yes, I am aware and confirmed drug sale locations like stash houses and shit, and confirming that Thug made that phone call. That's crazy. And then we say lyrics shouldn't be used in court. Who the fuck are y'all kidding? Man. What's the guy's name? Tick, right? Supposedly robbed some woman or something like that. He's in the case, right? And Young Thug puts in his lyrics, she getting robbed by Tick. And then people say it's not fair to use lyrics in court. Guy got a charge for the same shit Young Thug is rapping about. Let me tell you something about that. I think the only way you're going to see lyrics come out of court or not be admissible in court, where prosecution or a state or whoever could use them against, you know, somebody that's on a defense, somebody that's fighting for their life, somebody that's fighting for their freedom, somebody that's fighting a charge. It's going to have to be occurrences of when people get brought up on charges, and it's going to have to be something significant that happens. And then you realize like, oh, no, that was just entertainment. And you guys drugged me through court and I lost some of my freedom, or back and forth to jail, all this type of shit, while you guys just couldn't understand that this is our form of entertainment. This is our culture. This is our lyrics. This is our style. This is what we talk about. This is what we rap about. You're going to have some of those occurrences. That's not what's happening. What's happening in the world is they're dragging these people into court and they're pulling up their social media posts, they're pulling up their lyrics, and it's really the shit that has happened. It's really the shit that has happened. You're not going to get the lyrics out of court anytime soon. You're not. You're not. And you want to hear what's sad too? Another sorry is true. You're not even going to get these rappers to stop talking about crime anytime soon. Yo, Young Thug is rapping about this shit. Now, how much they wild out on AR Ab and some of his videos that's online, they all do it. Whether that one of the biggest rappers out right now, Lil Durk. How much crime has he directly and indirectly rapped about? We feel like we know his whole beef through back and forth music and social media and shit like that, right? That whole line about Tick and Young Thug shit, and then people say get the lyrics out of these courts. That's impossible. They're not gonna stop doing it, and it's gonna keep getting dragged in. You're not gonna see that shit stop. Why the fuck would somebody want to pass laws against a crime tool, an evidence tool that's helping convict these people, possibly of crimes that they really committed? Why would somebody pass that? Social media and these lyrics, it's such a big tool to use. When I gotta prove my case, when I gotta say like, okay, this woman named Jennifer was walking down, Cleveland Avenue and got robbed and harassed, right? And then how am I proving that? What ties am I making? Whether it's character based, whether it's witness based or whatever. Oh, let me jump over here to this lyric of Young Thug actually rapping about the exact thing that happened 2 weeks after the occurrence. Why the fuck would they rule against or make a law to not use that shit? Why would they? Why would they? It's just making the prosecution's job so much easier. It's like it's evidence that's right there. It's right there. I could go to your caption. I can go to your lyrics. I could go to your album, your mixtape. I can go to your live performance. When you stopped all the music and you screamed out to the crowd, like, yeah, that's why that bitch ass nigga is dead now. And then you went on with the rest of your show. They're gonna bring that up in court. What did you mean by that right there? Why wouldn't they? I'm not saying that I'm for or against people using lyrics in court or the state or these prosecutions using lyrics in court, but it's just a sorry it's true reality. It's just like I think it's almost stupid to assume that they should stop using these lyrics in court because it's really what people are doing and then rapping about. That Tick shit is another one, and the co-founders please is another one. Like this is like, you see how we were saying, yo, Tory's about to get off, right? And then a bunch of people were shocked when he was found guilty. This is way worse. I'm not wishing it on Thug, but I'm just saying, if he gets off, everybody's going to be super shocked. Everybody's going to be like, yo, whoever his lawyer is, I'm not even into crime. I'm still keeping his lawyer's number in my phone. I'm keeping his lawyer's card in my back pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Johnny Cochran or OJ had to pull the glove shit. If it don't fit, you must acquit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was kind of clever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the OJ thing has so many other factors that's just like, nah, that motherfucker did that shit. Like, y'all niggas is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But his dream team did a very, very good job. Did a very, very good job. I feel like with Thug's case, it don't matter how good his lawyers are. There's too much on the other side between his own peoples, his own camp, his own YSL members. Then you got the fucking prosecution coming down on your ass. It's just too fucking much for him to get off. It's too fucking much. Too fucking much, man. Tick robbed that girl, he says in the lyrics. Good job. Good job. Thug is nope, we'll think Thug is the snitchiest snitch. Oh my God. Prime E says that if Thug gets off, we're gonna think. But here's the thing, Prime. Who would Thug tell on? Who's Thug gonna tell on? They got him as the top guy, right? Now, I haven't heard a name or seen anything about the whole YSL case, or even as a gang or a record label that puts anybody over Thug. What's he gonna do? Like point fingers at the record label? It's one thing when it's a primary target. I don't know if no matter who he tells on, that man is gonna do some type of time. He's gonna do some. That's fucked up, Michelle. Yo, Michelle just ended this whole chat. She said he better find a dead cousin to tell on. Oh my God. Shout out to T.I. Man. I didn't say it. She did. Oh my God. All right. I kind of want to do some miscellaneous quick joints and then get up out of here. How long is it? We over an hour at this point. I want to see if I can start getting my episodes under an hour. I don't know. I don't know if I can. We gotta see. I'm gonna try. One thing I want to say before I get up out of here is rest in peace, Gangsta Boo. Wild news. I think they said 43 years old, and I think it was New Year's Day or something like that. New Year's Eve, one or the other, something like that. I saw posts and blogs that it looks like an overdose. At her age, 43 years old, you want to hope that it's. I mean, 43 these days with today's technology is not old. You know what I'm saying? Like we were just seeing her at Versus. And don't get it twisted. You see a lot of people, that look good, and there's a lot of stuff going on health wise. And, the look is the look. You know, look at Black Panther, right? And I say Black Panther, I guess, to provide that strength look instead of his regular name. But it's just like, if it's an overdose, sad to hear regardless. 666 Mafia had that reputation once upon a time. I think they rapped about it, about snorting coke and doing drugs and that type of stuff. I don't want to put that on Gangsta Boo. I don't know what happened. I don't know if that's the case or not. But when I start reading possible overdose and at her age, it's just like, damn, you hope not. You hope not, but you don't want to be blind or blind yourself to the possibility. I guess that's the most respectful way to say it. Right. But Gangsta Boo, man, like, I got her albums. I got all the 666 shit. 666 is always going to go down as a legendary hip hop group, and she's a core member of that team. I remember even when LeChat came out, and people was wondering if that was going to be beef because, both the 666 affiliation and at times it kind of sounded alike. And then they had songs together, and you clearly hear the difference, like with Gangsta Boo's voice being a little bit deeper, a little bit stronger, a little bit more experienced. Chat seemed a little bit more wordy, a little bit more like a lyricist. But Gangsta Boo's presence, I always felt that when those two was on tracks together, with people saying like, yo, they got two girls, it's kind of like the same or whatever. Gangsta Boo, she stood out to me. She always stood out to me. But nah, that's a legend. That's a legend. And it sucks when we we say these words like legend after somebody passes. I would have definitely put her in that category while she was here. I would have said that while she was still here, of course. It's just that you're not thinking about it's like out of sight, out of mind type of situation a little bit, because after the verses, it's like I didn't really think about Gangsta Boo. When these people pass or when they come up in the headlines or whatever, you're like, oh, wow, damn, that person did so much. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's how I feel about it right now. It's like, oh, wow, it's a shock. Gangsta Boo. You know what I mean? So if y'all don't know about Gangsta Boo, man, then I wouldn't even be the person to say like, yo, go find out about Gangsta Boo. Go catch up. I wouldn't even do that, because what you gonna do? You're gonna go all the way back through, start at Tear the Club Up and come all the way current to Juicy J go and sing, solo, and and then the verses and everything. Like, nah, they got too much history. If you don't know who Gangsta Boo is, then you just don't know. But rest in peace to Gangsta Boo. Yeah, that was shitty news, man. That was shitty news. All right, the last thing I want to get into real quick, I just want to ask a favor from people in the chat, whether you see this live or whether you see this later on. I want my gamers to jump in the chat for me real quick. I need my gamers to jump in the chat. Shout out to Kendall Outlaw. Thank you for the super chat once again. Gangsta Boo had the best verse on Crazy Bones, We Starving. Ooh. Do I agree? I'm trying to think of Do I agree? I think I agree. I might go replay it right after this live now. Shout out to Kendall Outlaw. Yeah, Boo is nice. Boo always has some shit. Don't say the gangster without the Boo. Yeah, Cassidy the wise man. Shout out if that's look at my man Cass is in the building. Shout out to Cass, man. Shout out to my nigga Cass. Yeah, music people like Cass. You know what's up with Boo. You know what's up with Gangsta Boo. Some sad shit, man. But yeah, on a lighter note, before I get up out of here, I do want to ask the gamers to jump into the chat and the comments of this video. Tell me what games I need to be playing on PS. I don't have a PS5. I didn't pick up a PS5. On PS4, keep a PS4. The reason why I pulled out my PS4 is because I seen a video on YouTube. It was Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal. And Doom is like one of my favorite games as a kid, part one. When I saw the graphics and the play of Doom Eternal, I was just like, wow, that series has taken such a big leap. You know what I'm saying? So I went and bought the game and I started playing it. And I was just like, yo, this is crazy. So I tweeted it. I was like, how people be playing this game on nightmare mode? Y'all are crazy. Y'all are ridiculous. Like there's something wrong with y'all. I'm playing on the second mode, the hurt me plenty. I'm about to take that shit back to the fucking I'm too young to die mode. You know what I'm saying? Which is like the beginner's mode. But yo, that game is so crazy. I'm like, how the fuck y'all playing that shit on Nightmare? When I tweeted it, it was like a reminder of how many people on my that I follow or that follow me is in tune and on their gaming shit. It's like people just started responding. I was just like, damn, I got a couple DMs about it and shit. And it's just like, yo, I'm just so out the loop. I haven't had time to be the gamer that I used to be. And I think in some of these podcasts, I'm going to jump back into some of my favorite games of all time. Some of the stuff I want to try to play. Some of the games that the last games that I played, I shouldn't even say recently, but the last time I was really able to sit down and go through some of these games, like when I was playing BioShock, BioShock 2 and BioShock Infinite. The last Metal Gear that came out, I bought it, didn't have the chance to play it. I stopped playing Final Fantasy at Final Fantasy 10. Final Fantasy 7 is probably my favorite game of all time. But I do like first-person shooters. I never got into Call of Duty and all of that type of stuff. Never had the time. But Doom is the first game in years. Doom Eternal is the first game in years that I'm trying to sit down and make time for. So I just started playing that. You know, I got my PS4 out. Don't kill me for playing PS4. I don't got a PS5. I almost bought my godson a PS5 for Christmas. I found a spot that I was in sneaker shopping and they had a couple PS5s. But I need to know what to play for PS4. Or should I just chill out and say, yeah, Doom Eternal, I'm on the right joint. Just stay there. All right. Apex Legends, Need for Speed Unbound, Dragon Ball Z, Crash Bandicoot. Word? I remember that game. That's popping like that now today. Okay. Spider-Man series. Don't be telling me games that's not better than Doom Eternal. Last of Us, I heard of that. I'm too nonfiction. I heard of Last of Us. I heard of that. Isn't that a that's a series. That's a TV series that's about to start this month. I'm looking forward to that. I seen the trailer for that. That looks good. NBA 2K, come on ARP. I haven't been into sports games enough lately. Last of Us 2. I see two people talking about Last of Us. Apex Legends, Sly Cooper, The Row, Tekken. Kind of all fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll bust most of y'all niggas' ass in the Mortal Kombats and the Street Fighters. I was been playing that forever, those games, but I'm not really making time to play fighters anymore. Give me a Metal Gear, give me a BioShock, give me maybe a good first person shooter like Doom, WWE. I don't know about a wrestler or a fighter. I don't know about Tekkens and all that type of shit. GTA 5. I heard, well, GTA, you know, that's definitely a popular series, but I didn't play 5. Why don't they make 007 GoldenEye anymore? Leave it alone. Certain things is meant to be left alone. That's an all-time great. Leave that shit alone. God of War. I played a couple of the God of Wars. The God of Wars. Bulletproof. The new WWE is fire. Okay. All right. I'm gonna play this live back, and I'm gonna write down some of these shits that y'all are saying. I'm gonna YouTube some of them and see what they're looking like. All right. Like I said, I want to try to see if I could stay under an hour, but you know how we do between rocking with the chat. I appreciate y'all and some of these topics we got to go through. It's almost always going to go over a damn hour, but this was episode 12. Yeah. Skip. We'll see what happens. Gervonta. Get rid of her. You know what I'm saying? Young Thug. It's looking ugly. And all the other stuff that we touched on, y'all. It's just another week in wild news. You know what I'm saying? And once again, rest in peace to Gangsta Boo. And if I switch back to a lighter note, make sure y'all go to rarebreedent.com, get your tickets for February 4th. Divide and Conquer is going down with the headline of Hollow to Don versus Ill Will. That's going to be so crazy. That's going to be so crazy. Get your tickets and your live pay-per-view right now, rarebreedent.com. Yeah, y'all still talking about games. I'm definitely going to have to pull some of these up and do my homework. But all right, yo, we out of here. It's the Sorry It's True podcast, episode 12. Once again, I appreciate everybody for rocking out. More pieces of me and Jim's last sit down on the way. I think I got a piece that's scheduled to drop tomorrow and the day after. More parts with me and the Instagram model Aria Ortiz. Some of that started to drop today. Check that out. I think I got other pieces from my last episode that may still have to drop. We got trailers on the way. We got Old Red versus Active is the next battle that's going to drop. I think the next announcement may happen by the end of this week or early next week, maybe the weekend. But the next announcement for the February 4th card is coming. What other content we got dropping? A lot of content, man. Stay subscribed, turn your notifications on. Sorry It's True, RBE shit. You know how we rocking, y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. Happy Tuesday, y'all.